Good morning, boys and girls. So today we are continuing on in math with Unit 11, Lesson 4. And before we get started on our objective, we are going to go ahead and look at this problem of the day. And it's just a simple, what time is it problem. So let's go ahead and look at this. I already have my minute hand labeled in blue and my hour hand labeled in green. So as usual, we're going to start by looking at our minute hand first, which falls right on the 11. So we're going to count by fives until we get to the 11 times. So 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. So our minute, 55. Easy enough. But this is where I want you to stop. I want you to pause and think, wow, 55 minutes has gone by past the hour. I only have an interval of 5 more minutes until our next hour. So that should put a little dinger in your head, okay? A little ring that thinks, so I need to be careful when I look at my hour hand because my hour hand's gonna look like it's on the next hour, but it's not yet. So let's go ahead and use that knowledge when we look at our hour hand. So you can see that our hour hand is right on the 4. But is it 4:55? Would that make sense? I know that as my minute hand ticks and ticks and ticks around the clock, my hour hand is getting closer and closer to the next hour. So if it was 4:55, my hour hand would be on the 5. It would be about on the 5 because that would mean that we were only 5 minutes away from the next hour. So let's look at this. We know that it has to be 3:55. There's only 5 more minutes until 4 o'clock. So that is why our hour hand looks like it is on the next hour. So pay attention to that because that's something that I was noticing on your posts. Okay, so for your objective today, it's the same as yesterday, a little more practice on this. Today we will measure time in intervals. And we know that an interval is the period of time between 2 events. So if I said you have a soccer practice at 3:45, how much time do you have after school to get ready? I would want to know how much time there was between 3 o'clock and 3:45. Okay, so that's what we're working on today. So I want to introduce you to one more new strategy today that I really like, and it's nice to have multiple strategies because then you can choose the one that works best for you. And it's kind of like using a number line, but instead of using little ticks and hops on our number line, we are going to use these lovely symbols. So our hour symbol is like a mountain. Our 10-minute symbol is a hill. Our 5-minute symbol is a rock, or a boulder, I should say, boulder. And our 1-minute symbols are little pebbles or rocks. So an hour is a mountain, our 10-minute hop is a hill, our 5-minute rock is a boulder, and our 1 minute, our little 1 minutes are rocks. Okay? So we'll go ahead and see how to use that on the next page. Okay, so the first thing it wants us to do is to record the time and solve for the intervals. So first, of course, we're going to figure out what time it is. So if we look, our minute hand falls right on the 25. So we're going to go ahead and hop 5 times until we get to the 5. So 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Okay. And then our hour hand is in the backyard of the 12. And notice that our hour hand is almost right in between the 12 and the 1 because they're about halfway past the hour. So it's 12:25. Now it wants to know 17 minutes before. So you have a choice here. Just like we did yesterday, you can either do 25 minutes minus 17. That's what we were doing yesterday. Or you can go ahead and hop back on your clock, which I personally like to do, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. So if we're at 25 minutes and we want to go backwards 17 minutes, I'm going to subtract 5, I'm going to subtract 10, I'm going to subtract 15, and then 16, 17, so 2 more hops. 16, 17 minus 2. Okay, so 15, 16, 17. So what do I fall on? Well, if I look closely, I can see that it is 12:08. 12:08. okay? And if you're the kind of person that just likes subtracting, you can check your work and we can use that to see if we're correct. So 25 minus 17, can't do that, so take a 10 away, bring it over. 15 minus 7 is 8, and 1 minus 1 is 0. So we got our 8 minutes, okay, 12:08. 17 minutes after, we're going to do the same thing, but this time we are going to add on. So if we are at 25, I'm going to go plus 5, plus 10, plus 15, plus 16, plus 17. Okay, so plus 2 more, so that gets me to plus 17. And it is 12:42. 12:42. So if you're a addition problem, it's a good way to check your work. Let's see, 25 plus 17. 7 plus 5 is 12. 2 plus 1 is 3, plus 1 more is 4. So we're correct, 42 minutes, okay? These boxes down here, you can use these however you like, okay? All right, now yesterday we did the number line strategy for this, which is basically the same as our hops. We would put our time in the middle, and then we would add 17, and then we would subtract 17, right? But I'm gonna show you our little mountains, hills, rock or boulders, and little rocks example. So I'm gonna put, we're doing, the first one is 17 minutes before, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put, since we're going backwards, I'm gonna put 12:25 here. Okay, and then here's a reminder, we have our mountains are an hour, our hills are 10 minutes, our boulders are 5 minutes, and our pebbles are, or little rocks or pebbles are 1 minute, okay? So 12:25, we want to go back 17 minutes. So I can go, I know that 17 is made out of a 10. It's made out of 5. So that's 15 and 2 ones. So we're not even paying attention to our mountains. We've got our hills, our boulders, and our rocks. So I'm going to go back a hill, so back 10. I'm going to go back 5, that's 15. And then I'm going to go back 16. 17. So minus 10, minus 5, minus 2, and minus 1, minus 1. Okay. So 12:25 minus 10 gets me to 12:15. 12:15 minus 5 gets me to 12:10. And 12:10 minus 1 is 12:09, and minus another is 12:08. Okay? All right, 12:08. So now I'm going to draw this line so that I can put this in half, because now I'm going to go the opposite direction, because now I'm going to be adding on 17 minutes. So this time I'm going to, as usual, start at 12:25, but I'm going to move forward. And it's the same thing, but I'm moving forward this time. So I need a hill, because that's 10 minutes. So I've got a hill, so that's plus 10. I've got a boulder, which is plus 5, so I'm at 15, and then I need 2 rocks, 16, 17. So 12:25 plus 10 is 12:35. 12:35 plus 5 is 12:40. Plus 2 more is 12:42. Okay? So I just like doing it that way. Very similar to your number line. Just a different strategy that I wanted to introduce you to that I think is a little bit fun. Okay? So that's that. And let's go ahead and do one more together. All right. Record the time and solve for the intervals. Let's zoom in. Let's figure out what time it is. So we have, okay, we should know this without having to count. If our minute hand is on the 6, we should know that that's 30 minutes. And our hour hand falls right in between the 5 and the 6, so it's in the backyard of the 5, so it's 5:30. Okay, 40 minutes before. So if it's 5:30 and we want to do 40 minutes before, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hop back 40 minutes. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Okay, so I know that my minute hand is on the 50. Okay, but my hour hand, let's think about this. Okay, it is 5:30, but I had to hop past my hour mark. So are we still in the hour of 5? If I was going backwards, tick, 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 guess what? My hour hand is also moving backwards, tick, 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 tick. Okay, and it's going backwards past the hour. So it is not 5:50, it is 4:50. Well, that makes sense if you said it was 5:50 when it wants you to go 40 minutes earlier. That wouldn't make sense. So you need to ask yourself, would that make sense? Okay. So now it wants 40 minutes after. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to count 40 minutes ahead this time. So I'm going to erase the lines that I have, or the little hops that I have here. Okay. Just so that you don't get confused. Okay. So I'm going to start at 5:30 and I'm going to go 40 minutes ahead. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. And I'm going to put a little star here. We'll talk about why in a second. So what is my new minute mark? It is on the 2. So that's 5, 10 minutes. So it's something with 10 minutes. So the reason why do you think I put a star here? Well, let's think about this. My minute hand now went past my next hour and started over. It went 10 minutes past my next hour. So it's no longer in the hour of 5. It's now in the hour of 6. It is 6:10. Okay, my hour hand tick, 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 got to the new hour, and now it's 10 minutes after that new hour. So it's 6:10. Okay? Now, let's look. We have a number line. So the first way I'm going to do with just a normal number line. And then the second way we'll do with our mountains, just because I want you to have access to all of these different strategies. So if we have our time at 5:30 and we want to know 40 minutes before, so it said let's put our tick right in the middle at 5:30, and we want to go backwards 40 minutes. So I actually think, since it doesn't provide you with your ticks, you can even start here at 5:30. Okay, and I'm going to use 10s to hop back. I'm going to use 4 10s. So 5:30 minus 10, 10 minutes, minus 20, minus 30, minus 40. Okay, so 5:30 minus 10 is 30 minus 10 is 5:20. 20 minus 10 is 5:10. 5 o'clock. And then 5 o'clock minus 10, we're in a new hour, which is 4:50. Okay? So that is how to do 40 minutes before with the number line. Okay? But really quickly, I'm going to go up here and I want to show you with our little mountains, hills, and boulders. So now we want to go 40 minutes after. So I'm going to start at 5:30. In 40 minutes, I'm just going to use my hills because those are 10s. So 5:40, so that's 10, 20, 30, 40. Okay, so let's find out. 5:30, 5:40, 5:50. I can't do 5:60 because I know 60 minutes is my new hour. 6 o'clock and 6:10. Okay? So it is up to you, those strategies that you want to use. On your student practice, it does want you to choose 2 different strategies, okay? But we will go over this next week and have another review day. So if you need help, don't panic. I am here for you. Just reach out to me. All right, everyone, have a good Thursday.